Hey guys, I'm Heidelin, host of the Imagine, Act, Achieve Happy Hour. And this week I've got two guests. One is returning from last week. We're going to talk all about the charity shoot for TVOF for archery. So, very excited to welcome Mike Chesser back. And we're also going to talk to Tamla Lloyd of Lloyd Law Firm. And she's going to tell us more about what it's like to be a lawyer. And of course, before any of that starts, we need to get in our happy place. And I know this seems like such a weird thing, but it's really good just to daydream and zone out for a little bit. And this is one habit that, when I think about let's get up and go to the gym right now, because that's not a habit I have very strongly built, versus let's just sit and think about one thing. It's a lot easier, I feel like, to do this. To just sit and daydream and not think about all the things that have been stressing you out today. Not think about the conversations you were having earlier with someone or the conversation you're going to have later. All you're going to do is you're going to focus on my fishies. These are my molly fish. There's a yo-yo loach in there. There's one of those big pleco fish in there, although he usually hangs out on the other side of the tank, so I don't think you'll see him today. So all we're going to do is we're just going to watch the fish swim around for 5 minutes. And your mind is going to wander. You can count on it wandering at least 50% of the time, and that's totally natural. Your mind's all over the place all the time. But part of this is learning how to control your mind. So at certain times when you are all over the place, how do you recenter yourself? So you're practicing right now. You catch yourself, your mind's wandering, pull it back to the fish and just focus on the fish. They're fun to watch, trust me. So we're going to start the timer now, and we're just going to watch the fish. All right. Great job, everybody. Great job watching the fishies. I think they did a good job showing off this week. So I am excited to introduce my guest to you. But first, I want to explain a little bit more about what happens now that you're in this state of mind. So you just took a break from thinking from the left side of your brain. And a lot of times in those thoughts, it triggers a lot of negative emotions. And when you feel those negative emotions, it's going to cause you to act in a way that's not going to give you the results that you wanted to get. So when you notice yourself in a negative state of mind, whether you're stressed out, you're anxious, you're angry, just stop for, it could even be 2 minutes. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be 15 minutes, but just stop for a couple minutes and focus on one of your senses. And what I like about the fish tank is the fish are pretty entertaining. They can be pretty distracting and a little easier to focus on. And then after you've taken a 2-minute break, now ask yourself, how could I turn this situation into a gift or opportunity? And from that perspective, you're going to be able to figure out a creative answer, something that is more empathetic to yourself than that nasty voice that keeps driving you to go and it doesn't seem like you're ever going to get there. This is a great process and technique for you to perform better, to feel better, and to build deeper relationships with people. So, fish tank, you are off. And now I would like to introduce to you Tamala Lloyd. Hey, Tamala. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How do you feel after gazing into my fish tank?
I feel good, but I was trying to count them at the same time.
How many do you think that you saw?
Well, I want to say 3.
So there are 3 adult mollyfish. There is 1 yo-yo loach. There is 1 pleco fish that did not make an appearance. And also there is 1 baby molly that also I didn't see it make an appearance.
Okay.
Oh, and there's a little catfish in there too. I always forget about him. He's like, he's always sitting back in the corner, but so, but I would say that 3 of my fish were more active than the other. So,
All
right. So, I want to know more today about how you become a lawyer and how. So, how did you get started? What were you thinking about that made you decide you were going to go to law school?
Well, I'm not from here. I'm from the Caribbean. So there's a process to getting here if you're not a United States citizen. You weren't born here. And so I had to go through that process. And along the way, I think I've always said this, and I continue to say it to this day. The legal system just fascinates me, and the steps in the process that I had to go through in order to get here to the United States and become a US citizen is part of the reason why I am an attorney today.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, so what kind of things were you thinking about around that time? Like, was it an easy decision for you that you were going to go into law, or were there some other options for you that you were thinking about? Take us back to that time.
Yeah, I mean, there were other things career paths that I thought about taking. For instance, I worked for an insurance company for quite a while, medical malpractice to be exact. And I also branched out into the real estate industry. Matter of fact, I do have my real estate license as well. And I've had that for quite a long time, even before going to law school. Uh, I just, along the way, I tried different paths, but I always came back to wanting to be a lawyer, wanting to go to law school and become an attorney. So I feel like I experienced in other areas and other industries, but at the end of the day, I knew that I was more passionate about becoming an attorney, and that's how I am, how I became where I am today.
So when you thought about becoming an attorney, and even now as you practice law, what kind of feelings does that bring up for you?
I would say a bit of excitement. And I say that because when I start counseling clients, so potential clients, I get really passionate. I get excited. So I know I like this field. I love this field because of how I feel inside when I get a new case or I have to help someone with a legal matter.
Well, what made you choose the area of law that you practice?
Well, for estate planning, I enjoy helping clients or potential clients prepare for their future. A lot of us don't think about the fact that if we're no longer here, it's important to have a will in place, or even if we are here, having a living will in place. So I chose that area because it interests me, and it's an area that I learned about in law school and wanted to explore more now that I became an attorney.
All right, awesome. Okay. So, with this interest in law, when did you go to law school?
I started law school in 2015.
All right, awesome. And so, how long does that whole process take? Like, what was that like?
It was a handful. It was a lot of work, as many attorneys I'm sure will tell you. It's usually 3 years. When I initially started, I started on the part time or in the part time program. And at the time, I was working for an insurance company. And unfortunately, I got laid off. But in the end, it turned out to be a good thing because I was able to continue law school on a full time basis, which means that I completed my law school education sooner than I had anticipated.
Awesome. Where did you attend law school?
I attended Florida Coastal School of Law.
All right, awesome. So, then there's that big bar that you have to pass, right?
Yes.
So, how is that like for people that are thinking about being lawyers? Like, is this like a super scary thing, or is this something that, like, if you were paying attention in school, you'll be fine? Like, what was your experience?
I think it's a very scary process. You just don't know. I think whether or not you do well in law school, you still have to take the time to study. A lot of us take about a couple of months just focused on studying every day, all day, and that allows you or puts you in a position to be confident when you walk into that testing room, knowing that you're prepared for that test because it's not an easy test and you just can't cram for it a week and then go into it the next week thinking that you will pass.
So, what kept you going on those days that you didn't want to study and keep at it? Like, what was your motivation?
Well, for one thing, my family. I mean, took so much time away from them to get to this point, so it was important for me to follow through and to stay on track. And another is spent all this time in law school. I've come this far. I cannot afford not to pass this exam. And so those were two, I think, biggest motivators throughout the process at that point.
So you pass the bar, and then what happens? What did you do then?
And start looking for a job. What
So
job?
where was the first place that you found a job?
Well, honestly, I looked, I searched, and not many people were hiring, or for lack of a better word, willing to give you a chance since you're a new attorney. And at that point, after searching and trying to find the right opportunity or just an opportunity, I just decided to open Lloyd Law Firm.
That's amazing. That's like a big jump, but really awesome. So, what was your experience like with opening your own law firm?
My experience, I have good and somewhat challenging experiences. When you're hanging your shingle as a young attorney, it's a lot of work, and you're still learning yourself. I think for me, what I was thankful for are the mentors that guided me and still guide me to today along the way, and that those mentors that I have now are helpful as I continue to go through the process as a solo practitioner. And I'm just thankful for it for that, just helping me through the challenges that come along with owning your own business, um, and a law firm to boot.
I love that you say that because, if somebody was going to go be a professional football player, no one would think twice that you've got a coach and you've got somebody else that's helping you with this and that. Like, you've got all of these people. If you're a lawyer, you're a really good lawyer, but you might not know about all of these other aspects of business that are going to help get the word out there that you're there to help. So it's important to have that like team of mentors, like your own personal board of directors that can guide you through all of the stuff that is not your expertise, but will help you grow your business.
That's right.
So, where do you typically find your customers?
So right now, today, I would say a lot of referrals from prior clients. I do have a couple of referral companies that I am also currently signed up with or have a partnership with. The local Jacksonville Bar Association, they also have a lawyer referral service that I am a member of. So, because I'm on their panel, they also provide me with leads and referrals.
Awesome. So, this collaboration that we're doing here, the live stream, is to help promote this community taught course catalog that is going to be at St. John's River State. And so I'm just curious, have you ever thought about teaching a class or a course that educates the average consumer about end of life, preparing for that, making it maybe a little less scary and us a little bit more informed in what we need to take care of?
Yes, of course. I have thought about that. And I've started positioning myself to be to give presentations to talk to not only young people, but also elderly people who may not know or who may be lacking information in that area.
All right. Excellent. I love that because I feel like that's something that should really be taught as something in maybe like high school or in some sort of college thing about life. Like, here, this is what's going to happen. And well, that should be all wrapped up with all the rest of the finances and stuff like that. So it's great that you're thinking about doing that, being another voice out there to be another resource for people to learn more about that topic. So cool. I'm excited. I hope you tell me more once that comes out. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I have one more question for you. I shared a good habit with you at the beginning of this episode. Just zone out on the fish tank. So, what have you found is one good habit that has given you success in your life?
I would say meditation, yoga. So I am a yogi. I enjoy going to my yoga class every week, and I certainly enjoy meditating every day. So the fish tank before we started the interview, I think was extremely helpful for me.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I love
that's
it.
the habit that I enjoy.
And what part of town do you go to yoga?
Monument area, the South Side area.
Hmm. Maybe
Yeah, there's a gym over there.
sometime you'll have to, invite me along because I'd like to check out yoga. I haven't, but
You
it's
should.
way easier with a friend than it is all by yourself.
I'll hold you to that. You definitely should.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming here and sharing more about your journey and becoming a lawyer. I think for people that maybe have thought about becoming a lawyer before, and they feel like they're excited about law, they're excited about thinking about helping people with complicated terminology that's easier for you to understand. Whatever it is, you're excited to do it, but now we're trying to figure out what those action steps are to become a lawyer and have that result of your own practice or your own business. So thank you for sharing that journey with us today.
It's my pleasure. And thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. So I have right there on the screen the website for Tamla, and I'm going to also put that in the chat. And let's see. All right, no comments in the chat. So, Tamala, do you want to hang out on camera while I bring Mike back and we talk about our awesome archery tournament?
Sure.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to bring over Mike Chesser. Hey, Mike, what's going on?
Hello. Ginger decided to join the live stream too.
I see you have Ginger. Luckily, she doesn't bite you or
She doesn't bite me. She only bites you, Heidi.
I know. And see, I got one too. She was not happy about getting out of her comfy position, though. She's like, wait, no, I need to do my hair and makeup to be on camera. What are you doing?
Well, I know your pain.
All right. So, Mike,
Yes.
how do you feel like the TBOF charity shoot went this weekend?
I think it went really well. This was the new administration's first charity shoot. So, with that being said, overall, I was extremely pleased with how everything turned out.
All right. Awesome. So, what were your favorite parts about this shoot?
Well, as always, I think my favorite part is just the feedback I get from our members and participants of how much they enjoyed the shoot. That puts it in perspective, and makes it worth what we do. So that's always what I enjoy most.
All right. And what did you learn from this shoot? This is the first charity shoot that you've done as TBOF president. So, what were your learning experiences from this?
My learning experience was never take anything for granted and be ready to change something on the fly. Be very flexible.
You had to make a last minute pivot, didn't you?
A couple of them, more than one.
Well, I do have to say that the pivot of having to change the course around to a different area of the property, that was awesome.
A lot of people would agree with you. They seem to really enjoy shooting a different piece of the property, and even though it forced us to shorten the distances to the targets, um, I got a lot of good feedback.
That's awesome. So, what do people have to look forward to next with TBOF?
The state championship, of course, is the first weekend of March. But before I get there, let me remind everyone that we have the Silver Creek Nap In coming up.
Silver River.
Uh, Silver River Nap In, yes. If you're not familiar with that, the Silver River Nap In is where basically a bunch of artisans in primitive tools, primitive clothing, primitive everything get together to sell their wares, put on demonstrations, um, and it tends to generate a very large turnout. It's at the uh, Silver Spring State Park Campground. Um, the the one big thing we do there is we, as TBOF, host kind of it's we let people shoot a bow. We introduce people to archery that otherwise probably wouldn't have a chance, more especially kids. It runs from Friday through Sunday, and last year we probably ran several hundred people through the archery line to work with them and let them shoot a bow. So it gives great exposure to archery and to TBOF also.
So, with all that being said, with all those people going through, you're looking for volunteers to help out with this, right?
Yes, if you are interested in helping us, we could certainly use the help. Um, if you go to our website, our webmaster extraordinaire has set up a volunteer sign up form. Please go there, put your name, fill out your information, and we would love to have you come help. We could use all the help we can get. That's a kind of a big turnout for that. My number's on there too. You can call me for more information, and I will be glad to help you with that.
All right. And again, that's February 17th and 18th. Are you guys out there both days?
Yes, we are.
All right. Awesome. Both days at the Silver River Napping and Prehistoric.
Yes.
I've been talking all day today. Prehistoric Arts Festival, and that's at the Silver Spring State Park.
Yeah, it's really neat too. There's something there for everyone, including food, and it's a really good time. Even if you just come out to look around, you will enjoy it.
All right. That is awesome. And then you were talking about the upcoming spring championship.
Yes, our state championship. It's the big shoot of the year. March 1st through 3rd at the Ocala Conservation Center. Um, it is, we call it the state championship. It's where you typically get the best trad archers in Florida and from all over, really, coming down to participate. Um, we offer 3 classes. You can either shoot primitive, longbow, or recurve. You cannot shoot multiple bows. It is one class, but we're going to try to have some novelty shoots available for you to get all the shooting you want done. It's a 40 target qualifier, and then we seed you by scores for the 20 target championship round. There will be an Ironman shoot. There will be a coon shoot, long shots, and anything else we can put together to make it worth the trip down there. There will be a music jam. We introduced that last year at our fall shoot. We're going to do it again. Bring an instrument, whatever you play, bring it. Um, we're going to play some music. And it was a blast last year, and everybody seemed to love it. We got a lot of positive feedback on that too. Again, we need volunteers. If you are interested in helping set up on Thursday, please fill out the registration form, the volunteer form, or give us a call and let us know. We typically start setting up about 8 o'clock on Thursday morning, and we usually wrap up the courses by 1 or 2. So any help you could give us would be appreciated.
All right. And one thing I didn't hear you mention isn't the bi-yearly meeting at 6 p.m. on Friday.
Yes, the board of directors will be meeting Friday at 6 p.m. I encourage you to attend. There's always good nuggets of information there. We will be bringing up some new topics this year for discussion that will probably take place maybe in August. You can also get a financial rundown of where your money is being spent. And remember, it's your club. These are things that we encourage you to participate in. So if you can make it, we would love to have you.
It's really a great opportunity for you to voice your opinion about how
Absolutely.
you think that the shoots are set up and what could be better. A lot like I asked Mike earlier in the show is, what did you like about it? What could have been better? And these are things that we can discuss in the meetings so that we can improve it and attract more people to these shoots.
Absolutely. That's our job.
All right. Well, I'm super excited. Oh, by the way, I was thinking that everybody would probably want to hear my update after last week, after I was bragging about how all of my mental fitness was adding up on my archery scores. I'm happy to report that my points per target score went up another 0.5. At the last shoot in fall, I was at 8 points per target. After this charity shoot, I was at 8.5 points per target.
Heidi shot well. She barely missed third place by 5 points.
I had more tens in a row than I have ever had ever. It was it was like the coolest thing. So I didn't practice since August. I shot my boat probably 15 times to warm up in the backyard before that tournament and a couple times at the bales before we went. So the rest, I was just thinking about it all up here. So if you want to learn more about how you can improve your mental fitness, either for actual physical tournaments, or maybe you are a lawyer and you're practicing law and you've got to be able to focus and have top performance, even if you have a lot of stressful stuff going on. It doesn't matter what it is that you want to improve your performance. One small habit is going to help affect your life tenfold and increase your time and your energy to do the things that you really want to do in your life. Like shoot archery.
Very relaxing. It teaches you focus and discipline. Very good tools to have in whatever you do in life.
Tamala, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not practicing law?
Well, the downtime for me right now is amazing because if I'm not practicing at the time, I am with my children at a volleyball practice or tournament or soccer practice or soccer game. So that's, and if I'm not doing either, then I'm in the gym. So right now,
Awesome.
I do. Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank both of you for being on my live stream today. And I want to remind everybody out there that the formula works like this. What you think about leads to feelings and emotions. And those feelings and emotions are going to cause you to act. And those actions are going to give you a result. So when you start with a positive thought, you'll end up with a positive result. If you start with a negative result, you'll end up with a negative result. So this week, I encourage you to catch yourself in those negative emotions. Stop for a couple of minutes. Just focus on one of your senses. And then ask yourself, how can I turn this into a gift or opportunity? Imagine, act, achieve this week, and we will see you next week at the Imagine, Act, Achieve Happy Hour. Bye.